Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Dopamine Podcast. I'm your host, Box the Future. I got a special guest with me here today. My friend Bree from Legendary Empowerment. Her clothing line has really been taking off, and I'm proud to be a part of it. You know, I pretty much got her here just to give us a rundown of what she does and how she got started, and hopefully she can inspire some of y'all to not give up. You know. So first off, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So what got you? First of all, where are you from, and what got you into designing clothes?
Okay, where I'm from. I was born in Anaheim, California, and I was raised in Hawaii and Vegas. So, and then what got me started in designing clothes is when I moved to Vegas. The '90s party scene was really big here. Mm-hmm. And so, like, the party crew days and all that, we would custom our own clothes and to put our party crew names on the back of our jackets and our nickname on the front or whatever. So I used to go to, like, Walmart and get the little iron-on letters and do it myself and put it on everything. Or go to the swap meet and get stuff, you know, embroidered with our crew's name. And I was always making it for, like, the crew members.
You sound like a gang, like the Warriors or something. That sounds scary.
Yeah, I guess it was, but we're about partying. You know, we were going out to dance. That's what it was.
Oh, like the party cruise.
It was the party cruise. Okay, yeah. So, but everybody repped their crew, you know, and so then I would have like my little composition book with my little sketches of how I was gonna do the next thing or whatever. And the stuff was like really basic, and I didn't know where I was gonna go from there, but in 2013, I don't know why, I just all of a sudden I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to put it out. I've always kind of fantasized about, you know, having my own designs out and my own ideas out and concepts. And I don't know, the first thing about doing this professionally, and I just learned on the way and made a lot of mistakes. And of course, you still make mistakes here and there, but 8 years later, you know, a lot easier to kind of know what you're doing.
So what was like your first, I guess, design? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. And it was really basic, but it still sells today, which is kind of weird. But, I mean, I'm super, super, super grateful. But all it said was inked and educated. Mm-hmm. And because I'm a nurse and I'm heavily tattooed, so...
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, so that was kind of the inspiration behind that, because there's always like this stigma on, you know, people that are tattooed. Mm-hmm. So, and it was in Old English originally, and it just said that. And I remember I put my site live, and it took 2 weeks before I got my first sale. And then when I finally got my first sale, because those first 2 weeks I was just like, nobody's looking at my website. Mm-hmm. I'm failing. That's it. Nobody cares, you know? And then I got my first sale, and that first sale meant everything to me. And I still remember the customer's name. Her name was Sonia. So shout out to Lowrider Mama on IG, because she was my very first customer, and like I'll never forget it. And she was from the Bay Area. And yeah, so I later revamped the design a couple years later and made it a lot more like detailed and intricate and added like graphics to it. So some people still ask for the original though. I don't have it on my site, but if people ask for it, I'll like custom one for them.
You might have to re-release that, because that sounds pretty dope. So you've been doing this for like what a clothing line thing would you say?
It's 8 years. This year makes 8 years, yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. And it's been in Las Vegas like this whole time pretty much?
Yeah. I mean, I've traveled for it. Like I've vended in different states or gone to different shows. But yeah, it's, you know, Las Vegas based. And I used to vend a lot, and then I've kind of kicked back on doing that and doing more just strictly like online. Once in a blue, maybe I'll do a small pop-up, but yeah, I mean, I love traveling and meeting people and networking with people, but yeah, I kind of got tiring, so I took a little break from doing that.
So why you think? So why do you think people give up on their dreams, first of all, and why haven't you gave up yet? What you think? Is it the love you got for it, or?
Yeah, I actually did take a break. I like shut down everything for almost 10 months, and
a break is different than giving up.
Yeah.
When people.
I honestly didn't plan on coming back, because I mean the truth is like social media can be like heavy. Even though I don't get like a ton of negative feedback, I feel like there's just there's a pressure and keeping up with that in a regular job, and it kind of got taxing on me, and I just I was kind of going through some personal stuff, so I just needed a break, and I didn't think I was going to come back, but I still had merch laying around, and so I don't know, I had a talk with a friend one day, and she was like, I don't know why you ever stopped, and I was like, maybe I'll just open it just to get rid of the rest of this merch I have, and then like I couldn't, like it was just all over again. I was like, oh, okay, like because I feel
he caught the bug again.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel best like when I'm doing stuff like this, any type of creative project, whether it's a photo shoot, a video shoot, the process of designing something, connecting with other creative minds, like that's the joy in life for me. So I wish I could do it full time, and hopefully one day I can. But for now, I have my nursing full time, and this is, I mean, it's still like a full-time job, but because it doesn't stop, but
shit, y'all do big stuff. Y'all sponsor people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, shit, name some of the people, not just the people, but what type of people do you sponsor,
Yeah, well, first off, I have to, like, thank my dancers. The dancers that I sponsor have been so gracious to me, really positive people to work with, and so, shout out to Florock, who's on that banner back there. It was his connection in that dance world. And us mutually, we made a really dope creative team because I can make connections for him for gigs, and he made connections for me for gigs. And so we, like, cross-pass, and, like, we're able to integrate both of our creative sides to projects, and it worked really well. And, there's several b-boys that I sponsor, a couple b-girls, and then there's like a couple all-style dancers, and then I will sponsor charity events, and like a one-time thing if somebody's throwing an event and they ask me, oh hey, can you help out with this or whatever. So like a b-boy competition is called a jam. So like maybe someone will be, hey, there's this jam, like can you help sponsor the jam? Okay, sure. I'll sponsor the jam, and I always feel really honored even being asked to do something like that. And I do what I can, like with the charity and the sponsorship stuff. I wish I could do it at an even bigger level, but this is a one-woman show here, so
yeah, just the fact that you're doing it though is that's better than people who just talking about, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What they want to do. You're actually doing it. You're manifesting it. You're not just talking about it,
Yeah.
Just sitting around talking about it and not taking action on it, It's a difference between those two types of people.
And they're taking a chance on me too, like repping my brand and rolling with it,
That's what's so dope, because like no risk, what they say, no risk, no reward.
Yeah. So. And I think like eventually, like you just, I mean, I've had the best relationship with like the dancers, so shout out to all of you guys, B-Girl MK, Steve from Knuckleheads, and B-Boy Wicked. He's doing really big things. He's amazing at, cross-promoting. He's been great to me, so I'm super grateful for these people that I've worked with, Pandora and Derek. If you're in the dance world and you're from Vegas, you're going to know who these people are. Even if you're not, if you're just in the dance world period, these are some like world-renowned people, so I feel very like fortunate to work with them, not just because of their status, but they're just genuinely good people. And to be around, like I said, that creative vibe is dope. So...
So where do you see, well, actually, let's talk about how, I guess, I met you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny because, so I was looking on YouTube about how to grow my brand, like, as a photographer and stuff, and it was saying, like, you need to find people that's in your field and people that you basically believe in, and, people that have a vision, and, that you see yourself believing in and you want to be a part of and stuff. And so I just went hashtag Las Vegas clothing line, and like a lot of brands that I seen they were cool, but they weren't like first of all, they didn't represent nothing, and second, they kind of looked like corny. You know what I mean? It wasn't like put together. So when I seen your stuff, I was like, damn, this this is raw. It's not only raw.
Thank you.
It's like it looks official. You know what I mean? And they have like a purpose. You know, you have a purpose and like a vision for your brand. You know. And so I automatically wanted to be a part of it. I'm like, damn, I want to wear this. I want to wear that. Like everything. Like I would love to like shoot some videos. I was just thinking like I want to do videos for them, commercials, photography, like anything to be a part of that stuff. Because I definitely, you know, want to model too more. But so I hit you up and everything, and the whole time, because you know I never seen your face.
I love this part of it.
Yeah, so I was talking to you like, yeah, bro, I thought you was a guy the whole time and stuff, and so because I never seen a picture of you, you know what I mean? So that's what was crazy about it. So what the day that we finally set up a photo shoot and everything with Sophia and all that stuff, like I remember I showed up and I couldn't find the street and everything. I was like, bro, just tell me where it's at and everything. Like we could probably just like you dropped me, you know, your location or whatever. And I finally just walked up to where you was and stuff, and I was like what the hell? I know this is man. Like, yeah, this got to be her. It's not a him. It's not a him. But I never talked to you on the phone either. No. So you know, it was all just like DM through Instagram and stuff. Yeah. So when I seen you, I was like, okay, first of all, cool, it's a girl. Damn it. She seemed like she's gonna be easy to work with, and you had a camera in your hand already too, so I was like, yeah, this is gonna be dope. This is gonna be real dope.
That was a really good time, and yeah, I'm super glad we crossed paths like that, because we've done some dope projects together since, and you know, sharing knowledge between each other. And I appreciate you like hyping me up on my photography, because I'm kind of hard on
same here. Shoot.
You know, I'm like hard on myself about it, so but yeah, you're not it was probably shortly after that I went to another project, and the same thing. The person was like, I was expecting a guy, and I'm like, well, maybe I'm doing my part, because I try to like stay a little more like behind the scenes, and
yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
In the beginning, I modeled a lot more. Now because I like doing the photography, I don't really have to, you know. So every once in a while, you might see a picture of me, but people probably don't realize that's the person running Legendary, and I'm cool with that, you know. So
you like to be behind the scenes, huh?
I do. I mean, there's times I like it, like don't get me wrong, like I enjoy modeling too, like how you say you enjoy it, you know, like just
I know sometimes you see a jacket like, shit, I'm wearing this.
Yeah, and you're a great model. Like, dude, you're...
No, I'm saying, I know sometimes when you create a jacket, you're like, shit, I know I'm wearing this. I'm a model of this shit, because this shit is nice. Yeah. But thank you, though. Definitely shit. I enjoy modeling, and I enjoy, like, helping people with their brands. And I like to, that's the thing about modeling, because when you're a model, you're basically like a canvas for somebody else's artwork, you know? So I feel like...
That's such a beautiful way to put it, but it's so true. So I
really like to wear stuff that because jackets, like especially like how which jacket is this that you have on right now?
Yeah, this is people call it the bomber.
Like the bomber style, like jacket. Yeah, the varsity jackets. I always used to love those jackets, or like the Lettermans, you know, like stuff like that. I always used to love those type of jackets. So like to be able to finally wear that type of stuff, you know what I mean? That feels good, you know, because you only feel as good as you look, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, I really like to model. And
now you're good though, because I hella put you on the spot, and you just like bam, like turn it on.
And that one day we made all that stuff happen. That's what's crazy about. That's the first day we met, and we did the commercial. You know what I'm saying? All those photos in that one. So. Yeah, it was meant to be.
It was, it was a good vibe. Because I usually like when I first work with somebody, I'm usually a little nervous, and I know I'm going to be looking stiff on the picture, so it takes me a minute to kind of, like, loosen up. And once I work with the photographer, like, a few times, then it's, you know, easier for me to just, you know, model or do the film or whatever.
Know how to break the ice.
Yeah.
Do something like, see?
I'm probably still a little awkward on film, but, like...
Pop lock.
Yeah, so... But that was dope, you know? And linking up with, like, Sophia, like... you know, I'm working with the music industry. Like, I love like representing anybody from Vegas, and really want to like hold it down for my city. So whether it's clothing, music, I don't care what type of art medium you're into. Like, I want to support you. And, you know, I met Sophia through another artist here named Welby. So thank you, Welby, for that connection. He's been a friend of mine for like 14 years. And Sophia is just like one of the most genuine people. And yeah, so kind of just merged into that. And it came, you know, I'd worked with her before our project, but then that's how we met AC through that project, because we used his song, you know. And AC's dope, and, you know, he's gives just as much love as I give, and it's always mutual. And those are the type of people I want to surround myself with, like you were saying, you know, like-minded creatives and people that are about unity and want to lift me up, and that they're inspiring to me and like pushing me to like be better in some way. You know,
definitely
and that we're all clapping for each other, you know, like there's no, I don't want somebody to do good, you know what I mean, like we're all supporting each other. So like that's what I want my circle to be, you know.
And they say what you only as smart as the 5 people you're around, you know.
Yeah.
I think they say 5, or is it 3?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I believe it's 5. Yeah, that's a quote that resonates with me too. Like you're like the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with the most. Yeah.
And I see it's growing, like especially since I met you. Your brand has been growing and growing and growing. Like I see like you've been reaching a lot of people and stuff. I even see a lot of people who was like a lot of my followers like following you and stuff, and I'm like,
yeah,
it's
good, right? I mean, that's what's good about the
stuff. Don't just follow, be nosy. Make sure they purchase and support. You know,
it's all right, long as they share. And honestly, at the end of the day, like the brand, like I mean, of course, like I mean, I invest a lot of money into making merch, right? And there's like a whole process behind it that people don't understand, like how much money you really invest in doing stuff. Especially before I did my own photography, you know, hiring a photographer all the time, like that's very expensive. So you got to think like, okay, I'm working with a graphic design team to make my concept come to life, and then I'm making, you know, the actual product, and you know you have to do promos for it or it's not going to sell, so you got to do photo shoots and film, and like that stuff is so expensive. So really, when you think about it, like what I put into somebody buying that $20 t-shirt, and like there's a lot of money invested behind that, you know. But at the end of the day, like there's a hashtag I use a lot, and it's empower your community. So you know, I just if anything, I want people to take away the message of the brand. So like if they can't afford to buy it, or if it's not even like their style or whatever, that's cool. But I hope that they're inspired, and I hope I can be a source of light and love to people. That's like what it is at the end of the day. And I'm human, and I have bad days too, and but that's why I try to be so positive on my feed, you know, because I want to try to be that sunshine for somebody. And maybe I'm posting it that day because I need that sunshine too, you know. So
yeah, that inspiration. We all need that inspiration.
Yeah.
For real.
You know, we're not always up here, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're human, and our emotions go up and down. And, you know, the last over a year now, you know, it's been heavy for everybody. And, yeah, so.
It's funny because the people you inspire the most, they probably would never tell you. Or the people you inspire the most is the people you would never imagine that you would inspire. You know what I mean? That's what's crazy about it. So that's why I keep doing stuff like this, because I can see that, like the analytics and stuff like that, like it's reaching people in Kuwait, all type of different,
that's dope,
weird, you know, random, I don't want to say weird, but like random, you know, countries and stuff like that. So
that's the beauty of social media. Now that's the plus side of it, is that we couldn't reach people like that before, where now it is literally at our fingertips, you know, to be able to reach out. You know, unless you were like touring or something, like it was hard for you to connect with people. Some are completely different. But yeah, it is true. Like, you know, if you get a message from somebody, like something small and simple, like somebody DMs me or sends me an email and they tell me in some sort of way, like I had a positive impact, like that's what keeps me going, you know?
Definitely.
That's
you can't take the money with you, you know?
Yeah. So I'm like,
people
okay.
live their life like, you know, they can take money with you when you die. You can't take fame with you when you die. You know, you can't take clothing. You can't take none of that stuff. Gucci. You can't take nothing with you. Only thing you're going to leave is your inspiration, you know.
Right. Yeah, your legacy, you know. So make it legendary.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I really believe. That's why I really. I'm not saying that. I said, oh yeah, because I'm definitely into legendary stuff. You know, legendary and leaving a legacy.
Yeah.
And so, what made you come up with the name Legendary Empowerment?
At first, I felt like it was a mouthful, right? And I mean, people will say LE for short or just legendary, you know. But I wanted you to be able to look at the brand name and know what it was about without even seeing the product. So that was why I stuck with it. Because at first I'm like, oh, it's too much of a mouthful. Like I need maybe like just like a simple one word and something like that.
That's perfect. Two words. That's perfect. And the way you have it like set up. The one I love the most is this one right here. Yeah. It's like the car plaque.
Yes.
That shit is hard.
Yeah.
That's the best one.
Thank you. Yeah. That's my original.
The one that's in most of the videos that.
Yeah. So I mean that's inspired from like the lowrider scene that I grew up around, and I vended at the Lowrider Super Show a lot in here and in the Phoenix area. So.
You gotta drop that crew neck sweater.
Right?
That'd be definitely hard.
So, yeah. I like that one a lot. And it comes in, you know, several colors and stuff. But I'm glad that you recognize, you know, the car club plaque thing. So, that's the inspo from it for sure.
So, what would you say is like the main logo? Like the LGND, or would you say?
I mean, lately, I would say like, when did I start doing this? The abbreviation, I'm like, has it been like 5 years, 4 years? I don't know. At first I would do the whole thing or just LE. And then I think the first thing I put this on was a hat, and I originally got it from inspiration from UNLV. So okay, I put legend. I had a design that I redid, and it was like UNLV inspired, and so I had to have 4 letters because UNLV.
You had a hat or something like that too, right?
Yeah, I have a hat that's like the rebel colors and stuff.
Yeah, that's dope. I like how you thought of that stuff too, like the twisted like that with the.
Yeah.
Pretty smart.
Yeah, I'm not like the best artist, and I'm not like the graphic designer, but thankfully,
you're a good designer though.
Yeah, I'm just like a visionary, I guess, a creative mind, and like they can take my crappy little drawing and make my concept come to life if I really like conversate with them and try to explain, and then I provide like inspiration pictures, lifestyle like type pictures, like this is the vibe I need to have for this and whatever. Sometimes it doesn't work out, it doesn't come out the way exactly that I want it to. That's where I really wish like I wish I could do it myself, but yeah, I have to work with graphic designers and stuff like that, and that's okay, like so I don't want that to discourage people either, because you can still come up with a clothing line and it still be your ideas and your concepts and your designs. But
especially these days you can they got websites like Fiverr and all that stuff that you can hire people to do anything, create a logo for you, and they got those print what do you call them? Print on demand websites where you can create your own clothing line too. So.
Yep. So you really don't have to, like, if you're stressed out about the lot of money thing, that's when I tell people, try the print on demand sites, because then you're not coming out of pocket so much as you would if you like keep merch in stock, and
but less is more though too, because it makes it more like rare and exclusive when it's like that. You know what I mean? That's one thing I like about your stuff. It don't seem like it's like hoarded out everywhere. Like somebody, you don't see everybody in Vegas trying to wear it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But even if they was, that's dope though too, because that's how everybody kind of want it to be like that. You know what I mean? You want it to be like that, but then you want it to still have its rare.
I want unique pieces too. Yeah. If somebody asks for like a old throwback design, I never have a problem like reprinting it for them. But like eventually, like I might get tired of seeing the design, but if people, I'm still flattered. I'm like, oh, they like my work, or that design, they still want it from 5 or 8 years ago or whatever. That's dope. And I don't ever have a problem like sharing any knowledge I have. If I could help prevent somebody make a mistake that I've made, then I'm more than happy to. Like one of my friends, she said this, and I agree with her completely. She's in small biz too. She said, I don't ever have a problem like handing out the blueprint. As long as you're not taking my, exact thing, then I'll give you the blueprint. You just, you have to come up with your own shit.
Even if they try to, they still gonna have to come up with their own shit.
You're gonna have to come up with your own thing.
You can only steal for so long, because after a while you run out of ideas,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so any plugs I got, any knowledge I have, I'm always happy to share with people, what worked for me, what didn't, and maybe the things that didn't work for me will work for them, but, and thanks to YouTube, there's a lot of, like, free resources out there to, like, learn stuff, or Skillshare. I'm sure you're probably,
Hell yeah, Skillshare,
Yeah.
Like Udemy, all those other places that I'm not sponsored by, so I'm not going to be... No, I'm not sponsored by them yet. But hopefully you
there you
will
go.
sponsor one of these episodes or Skillshare one day, you know? Because we are looking for sponsors right now. But so where would you say you see yourself, like, or you see your brand, or even yourself or your brand too, in the next 5 years, I say?
I hope to, like, be touring with it. I kind of, like, took a break from the traveling thing, but I do miss it. I do miss, like, I get really inspired from traveling and being around different cultures and meeting different people. And, like, if you just stay in this little box, like, that's where you're gonna, how, like, an animal, like, it grows to its space, right? Like, if you have a fish and you have a really small tank, like, it only grows to that, whatever that fish can be in that tank. But if you travel and you expand and you're open to hearing different ideas, like, whether you're into them or not, you take what works for you or what you're inspired by. And that's what, like, traveling does.
Never know what happens.
Yeah. So, like, I want to do more traveling with it, so that I can, be put on some game too, and, like, be inspired and have, a more open mind. And anytime I've traveled, I always come up with some new design because I'm inspired by something, so it's good for, like, creativity and stuff like that. And, I would like to do photography more in other cities and just creative projects in general.
Travel pop-up shops, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Have
I used to
ready for you, like, man, you pull up hot and ready and stuff, all this stuff going.
I used to just, like, literally, if I was going somewhere, I would keep, like, merch in my trunk or whatever, and I would just post it online and be like, hey, I'm in LA on this street and this street. I'm going to chill here for 2 hours. If you want to come through, come through. And I'd be surprised, like, when people would come through, but I was, like, grateful, and I was like, oh, it's dope, and I was just slanging from my trunk. So, but yeah, I would like to connect with more people, like, outside, and I'm always gonna rep for Vegas. At the end of the day, it's just a growth thing for me, So.
See yourself sponsoring some more people, or just growing?
I'm always open to sponsor people, like, if it's in my budget, and if I'll always do, like, whatever
if it makes sense. Yeah,
I always do whatever I can, and also I feel like sponsorship too, it should go, I'm very big on this, like, just generally in life, like, reciprocation. Like, it has to be mutually beneficial. Like, if we're going to work together, it needs to be mutually beneficial. If we're going to be friends, it needs to be mutually beneficial. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be a monetary thing. It's just like, are you enriching my life, and am I enriching yours? Because if you're just enriching my life, you're getting the short end of the stick if I do nothing to enrich yours. Yeah. And I feel the same way with, like, business or sponsorship. So, the people I do sponsor, I feel like they do reciprocate the love and energy, and I don't have to ask for it, which is great, So, and I feel like that's how sponsorships should really work, and just helping each other out. I need that reciprocation on that.
Yeah, because me myself, I've been wanting to do. Well, I have been doing the clothing line here and there, on and off, but my thing is, I've been focusing on getting the business aspect of it straight instead of just trying to hurry up and design some stuff and just want to sell stuff to make money or whatever,
Yeah.
That was my, I guess, the thing I was struggling with, or whatever. Not struggling with, but that was my roadblock that I had to learn. Like, man, focus on anything that you're doing. That's for anybody. Like, focus on the business aspect of it first. Learn the whole, if you're in music, whatever you're doing, any sport or whatever talent you have, like, I have to learn the whole business aspect of it first. Because, man, I took so many L's just from not paying attention to certain things. You know what I mean? To certain, but at the same time, it's good, though, because you learn from your mistakes. As long as you don't give up, you know, your mistakes is gonna build you. It's working for you, not against you, basically.
Yeah,
you know,
you do learn from the mistakes. Unfortunately, they're really expensive mistakes sometimes, but just like going back to who you're surrounding yourself with, like, you know, each one teach one, and hopefully you surround yourself with like people that will share knowledge. And then I respect you a lot for doing a lot of like self-studying and like learning the business part of it. Like, that's gonna save you a lot and get you ahead more than just, you know, throwing out a design out there and not knowing the business part of it, because you're going to make smarter financial decisions, smarter marketing moves and stuff like that than somebody who didn't take the time to study that. I mean, that kind of inspires me maybe to like read into it a little more. And I'm like, you know,
no, yeah, it's just belief, I guess. I've been at this for a long time, honestly.
Yeah,
not just the clothing, but
just creative stuff in general.
And the personal development, I guess you can say.
Yes. You know? Yeah, I definitely see that from you. You're always talking about it. I like really respect that.
Thank you. And I don't know, it's kind of like just been like I don't know. I guess you can say it's my calling or something, but I never really was like trying to look for this, you know. I never wanted to be a teacher, preacher, whatever. I'm not a preacher, but teacher, you know, speaker. But
I was just about to ask you that. Would you be open to doing stuff like that, motivational speaking?
That's actually what I'm into. That's what I'm doing now. Like,
stuff.
I'm kind of like working with some people on some stuff and doing this podcast as part of that. You know, becoming more of a life coach, speaking more about law of attraction and you know, the power of your subconscious mind, you know, because what I'm doing this right here is manifesting it, making it real, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if I never believed, I would have never looked for you on Instagram, you know, I would have never looked for the hashtag, and I would have never met you, would never did the photo shoot, would have never led up to any of the stuff that we did, you know, so I would have never been a good photographer like people think I am, or whatever they think I am, you know, shit. If I didn't believe in myself, I wouldn't have kept watching tutorials. I wouldn't have done none of that stuff, you know. So I feel like belief is the main drive, you know, for your vehicle towards success, you know. Because if you just believe in yourself, mysterious things that happen, you know.
But I think it's important though. What you said though is you're not just believing, or you're not just like speaking it into existence and then sitting idle. Like, you're actually moving,
taking action,
you know, because if you're just sitting idle, it's not going to happen. You can pray and wish, and I'm going to speak this into existence, and it's not just going to manifest on itself. Like, I feel like you still have to take action towards it, and you definitely do with all, you know, the self study you do and the research you do, and
thank you.
Yeah, I think that stuff's really important.
You too, man. We a lot of like, I'll be seeing your posts and like a lot of stuff that you post. I'll be like, damn, she fucking. I can't, cause like the way your messages is, I can't respond back and be like, that was fire, or whatever.
I had to
like,
turn them off. You have to like personally DM you.
Or I can't be like, you know, I can't write you to tell you, you know, I'm about to steal this and put it on my story, so I just don't do it.
Just screenshot it. Just screenshot it. If it's a good message, man, share it.
Just screenshot it and like mention you in it or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
so you post a lot of good quotes.
You don't gotta credit me for no quotes, but I mean, like. Yeah, if it's a good message, share it. Like, that's why I'm sharing it, you know? And
each one teach one.
Yeah.
Reach one.
Yeah. And I really, like, love, obviously, the name of your podcast, because it, you know, it touches on mental health and just the neuroscience dork in myself, because I'm a nurse. Like, you know, I'm all into, like, the neurotransmitting and all that, so.
Dopamine. A lot of people don't know why, like, the logo is pink. But it's obvious, though, because like the brain is supposed to be like the color of the brain, and then I got the, you know, the marijuana leaf in there. Basically, like, it's all symbolic and stuff. So if you get it, that is pink. You understand that with the brain and the So it made a lot of sense, honestly, to call it dopamine. But At first, I didn't even know what dopamine was. I was like, let me look this up because it just sounded like a good word to use. So I don't want to just use something that sounds good and I don't know what the hell I'm using, you know. Because too much dopamine is bad for you. You know what I'm saying?
It can be.
You have too much of a dopamine rush and stuff.
Yeah, it floods your brain, and then when you're like depleted of it, then you're left feeling crappy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a balance with it for sure, but that's why I made that line of shirts, you know, for mental health. So I had serotonin, I had dopamine, and then I had one that said neurotransmitters matter, but that was before all the activist movements kind of became really strong. And then I took that one off just because I felt like other things needed to be focused on with that slogan. So, yeah. But
that's still a dope design to me. I don't think people would have been offended.
I hope not. I hope not, but well, I'll make it for you anytime. But I just like out of respect, I took the neurotransmitters matter off, and they do matter. Like, you know, people's state of mind and you know their mental health does matter. You know,
that's what I was talking about. Like we was talking about this, but I feel like there's always gonna be portions of people. Like the world is cut into a pie. You got people that people that give a fuck, people that care, people that don't care, and people that want to care. You know what I'm saying? Or people who know what's going on, people who don't know what's going on, people who don't give a fuck what's going on, basically.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be like, I feel like it's always going to be that portion of people who, you know, there's always people out there who want to learn more, but they don't know where to look and stuff. And you got people that's really don't give a fuck about learning more and stuff, you know. So I feel like as long as you're striving towards what you believe in, you know, like the answer or whatever you're looking for, something, because through synchronicity, something to pop up, you know what I mean? Like something to pop up, you know, and you'll literally find your way, you'll find your path, or your path will find you, you know. Because that's how I did it with this, just by speaking. And like a lot of my episodes, sometimes like after I recorded, I'm like, what the hell? What was I saying? Or what? But like I wait till like a month and I go back and listen to it. I'm like, man, boy, you was ahead of the game, and you was.
Nah, you're on some philosophical shit. Yeah. I dig it. You know, like I like it a lot. It's dope.
Because that's what I was trying to say about the whole, not the neurotransmitters matter, but the fact that people focus so much on fear. That's what I was trying to bring up. Like it's all about what you focus on. You can choose to focus on fear. You can choose to focus on, you know, you don't have to let everything that comes on the news, you don't have to let that into your psyche. You don't have to let that be a part of your day. You can turn the TV off, you know, you can change the channel, you can click off that website, you know what I mean? You don't have to be so quick to get that dopamine rush from hopping on Instagram, or so quick to get that dopamine rush from clicking that video, that fighting video, that whatever, kidnapping video. I try not to watch none of that shit.
No, it's true. Like, I mean,
it becomes a part of your reality, honestly.
Yeah, it does. And it does affect you. Like, we think that our outside influences don't affect us, but it really does. Like who you surround yourself with. What are you feeding your brain with? What kind of music are you listening to? I mean, look how much music can change a mood, you know? You can stay in this whole, like, emo zone if you're depressed, and you just keep playing depressed music, and it's natural for us to want to maybe listen to some depressing music when we're feeling down.
But it's funny because some people don't know. They don't know what it's doing to them. You know what I mean? Like subconsciously, they don't know.
I mean, you can get on that frequency music, you know, and just have that playing. But I think it's okay. Like that saying too, you know, just don't unpack and live there. You know, sometimes you have to cry it out, or for me, write it out, or you know, I'm crying and writing it out. You know, and I might be having some really sad music, but then I can't unpack and live there. You know,
they say, like, if you're going through hell, keep going.
Yeah.
Don't just stop.
Keep going.
Keep going till you get out of there.
Yeah.
Because it's all really up to you. Like this stuff that I do is not necessarily for people in our generations, for people that's younger than us, the people after us, because who knows how long these recordings stay around. You know what I mean? And who knows, you know, because time is fluid or whatever, so who knows when it's going to reach somebody or how it's going to reach somebody, because we're in the age of Aquarius, and back in the days it was about being like popular, trying to get on MTV or trying to get on, you know, with the internet, man, like everybody's fucking famous. Like you got people people that's in small countries you never heard of that's super famous, and they have their own audience and stuff like that, their own merch and stuff like that. Every day I hear about people that's like, I'll just type up something random and I'll see another video on the side, and this dude got like almost 1 billion views and stuff, and I'm like, who the hell is this dude? I never even heard of him. So that is definitely true, like, man. So, but I don't do this for the popularity of it. I do it because I love it, you know. I love how it's changed me, and how I see how it changed other people's lives too, because shit, like, if our parents knew about this stuff, the world would be a lot different. But at the same time, I guess they had to go through what they had to go through, so we can be here, and we had to go through what we had to go through, so we can be learning this stuff to teach other people and stuff, you know. So it happened for a reason, you know.
I think you should, like, you should do an episode where you're talking about tapping into the subconscious, and, you know, all that stuff, and how much it affects you, because
I kind of had I call them rants.
I'd be so interested in watching that, especially being a person who has anxiety, you know, and that's like a thing you can't control. So if you're familiar with certain parts of the brain, like the amygdala, like that thing is trained, that part of your brain is trained. So if you experience a trauma, say there was like a red truck in the trauma. Now, every time you see a red truck, you have like literally a physical reaction to it, and you may not even realize why, because maybe this happened when you were like 3, but it's still somewhere floating in your subconscious mind, you know. And unlearning that habit is really hard. I mean, I've had anxiety. I'm 39. I've had anxiety since I was 16, and I haven't
34, 86, baby. No shame. No, I was playing.
Yeah, you know, and I've gone into therapy and done all that stuff, and I still do, and I haven't learned exactly how to unlearn those habits.
I learned, like, you like they say, it never really goes away. You just learn how to, like, live with it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because you, at the same time, what would you be without your struggles? So you kind of don't want it to necessarily go all the way. You want it to go away, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to experience it in your damn, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but you don't want to experience it in your neurons, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to experience that stuff.
Well, you have to have some level of fear. That's what they talk about with anxiety. Because I used to joke, I'm like, well, why can't they just pull my amygdala out of my brain, and then boom, my anxiety problem solved? Well, you do need some level of fear, because otherwise you would have no fear to run across a freeway, or, you know what I'm saying? You need some level to protect yourself, and that's why it's an innate part of us to have that reaction. But unfortunately, it's also like linked to negative experiences and trauma too. So, and that part
I was listening
sticks.
to somebody. It was talking about, I forget who it was, but they were saying like how we need that fear, because if you knew it was going to happen, it wouldn't like, how can I say it? You wouldn't have the growth from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sometimes you need stuff to scare you, or you know what I mean. You can. There's nothing you can do about it, because you have to. Or like going through hard things, like when you don't want to do it. Sometimes you never know what's on the other side of that fear, or on the other side of doing that hard thing. So that's why I learned sometimes just do the fucking hard stuff first, just to get it out the way, because you get that dopamine rush.
Yeah,
that's the only way you can get it, by doing stuff that you consider hard. Because if it's too easy for you, you're not even gonna get that. It's gonna be done. But if it's something you never thought that you could do, by actually going through it, your brain, they said, creates more. I don't know if it's more neurons or neuroplasticity. Basically,
neuroplasticity.
It creates more of that.
Because it's like rewiring. Yeah,
exactly. So that's why it's important to basically face your fears. You know. Yeah,
I mean, you wouldn't appreciate stuff either. I mean, none of us want to go through the heartache and whatever is traumatic has happened in our life, but at the same time, like, it's kind of ironic, but like, our pain is going to help somebody else. And I feel like I'm sure most artists or creative people, whatever, would agree that like some of your best work comes from your worst pain, you know? And it sucks we have to go through it to get there, but if I had no struggle, then I wouldn't appreciate living where I live or having what I have, you know? Because, you know, I'm not where I want to be. Like, you know, I still have like goals to like move on up and you know, in all aspects, like in personal growth, financially, whatever, you know. But I just, if I didn't have the many years of struggling in other ways, like, I wouldn't appreciate where I'm at. I don't know, because I feel like I see other people who have had a different life or whatever, and, you know, have had other opportunities that I didn't have, and they kind of don't, it doesn't resonate with them, or they don't get it. But then they've probably gone through stuff that I've never gone through, and, you know, I don't get it.
Not to cut you off, but, you know, I'm clairvoyant, so I feel like the thing is with you always I just seen like a little pixie in my eye too, at a little orb over there too.
Yeah.
as I said that, as I said, I'm clairvoyant. But you know what gratitude is about. That's what it is. That's why I know it's what you. It's like you're grateful for everything. So that's why it seems like things always happen for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've noticed about you. Like that's what. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I'm definitely grateful. I mean, I don't always understand, like, why I have to go through certain pain. Or, you know, when I was younger, a lot of it was my own doing. Like, you know, like, I made bad choices. So, you know, you kind of ended up, you got yourself there. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't listen to guidance from our parents or whoever it was that was trying to guide you to not make that mistake. But sometimes you have to fall on your face.
Shit, you gotta live your life, not their life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yep, you're right.
Sometimes falling on your face is what's gonna make you, you know.
Great.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. So, as much as it sucks, I don't want to experience any more pain. I've had enough. Yeah. But I know it's kind of inevitable.
You know how to kind of like, as we get older and wiser, we learn how to like manage the pain, I guess. You know, you can't help like what's gonna come to you, you know what I mean? But you can help how you react to it, I guess. You know, you can manage how you react to it, because stress ain't good for. I've never seen stress do anything good for anybody.
No,
you know what I mean?
It doesn't.
Ain't nothing cool about stressing your damn, having ulcers and stressing your body out.
Yeah.
Because it just leads to more mental dysfunction, honestly.
Physical, too. I mean, because you're leaking all the... I keep going back to like medical stuff, but you know, you're stressed, you're leaking cortisol, you know, you're leaking all these stress hormones in your body, and like that stuff like physically does affect you. So your mind does affect it, and I mean, that's something I'm still like learning. I definitely think with age I've like come better at not, you know, or realizing not everything deserves a reaction, or maybe I don't need to be. Maybe I need to find the silver lining in this,
Yep.
or what have you. But there's still times where like I, you know, will break down. That I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have broke down in that situation, or you know. But then again,
don't be so hard on yourself.
Then again, you learn from it again. So
that's what I've been learning. Not to
and
be
I
so
just
hard
have to
on
remind
myself.
myself, you know, I'm human. You know, I can't be perky and sunshine all the time. Like I'm gonna have a cloudy day too. And maybe a cloudy week, but you know, then you pick yourself back up and, you know, try to lift other people up when they're down. You know.
Yeah, we from that generation, man. We grew up on that Lauryn Hill. I know you know about you grew up on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, we grew up on that good music, man. I don't know. I know a little bit about music these days, but it's definitely not the shit that we grew up on. The '90s hip hop, the soul. You know,
messages were completely different.
Yeah,
basically. So different. Yeah.
So like, it's funny. It's like these kids that's doing music now, they living in heaven from what the people before them like struggled. You know,
really,
were struggling.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was easier. It's easier for them, I guess. I mean, I'm sure it's still not easy to make it to that level of like certain people's success. And that financial freedom that they get from it, but
man, it's all an illusion, honestly.
Yeah,
I learned that shit is all an illusion.
Yeah.
A lot of them people from the '90s didn't even own, you know.
They got screwed over.
Yeah, they didn't own that music. So if you didn't own that music, it's like.
So shout out to the indie artists that are doing it, you know, like, and holding on to that, you know.
Yeah,
but
the
like,
tables turned a lot for independent artists.
I mean, like I was telling you earlier when we were setting up in the garage, you know, like I'm a huge fan of Tribe Called Quest. Like if someone asks me, what's your favorite hip hop group? Tribe. Like automatic, you know? Gangstar's close real close with them. And but the things they talked about was so different. Like, dude, their vocabulary is like insane for one. You know what I mean? They really reached out
Super lyrical, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just incredible lyricists, and they had positive messages or just real talk, dude.
Feel good music and stuff. Or stories, like
So I mean, it's just completely different. And then, you know, even like just, I guess we'd call it like, you know, West Coast rap or gangster rap. Like, I mean, that's changed a lot too, like in the stuff they talked about, you know, like Pac had his gritty songs, you know, but then he also had his very much poetic whole nother side of him, and his upbringing, you know, obviously shaped that person. Like, as much as he was hard or whatever, you know, like he had this big soft heart, and he wanted to teach people stuff, and he was, you know, making political stances in his songs, and, you know, talking about social injustices or just things in general. Like,
yeah, shit. I ain't gonna lie, we can go on for hours about we gonna have to make a part 2 about this.
I know,
stuff,
right?
Man, we can man. Even like the artists, the singers back in the day, them motherfuckers would be crying on their knees.
Okay.
They would be crying like these dudes. They say anything to hurry up quickly. Come on, let's get this. Let's get to the bed. Come on.
Yeah.
No,
the R&B back then
like,
was.
It was real. It was like
real.
really, really, really real.
Yeah.
It had a lot of emotion in it, you know.
Yeah.
Especially back in the days when they had vinyl and stuff like that. Like the vinyl, a lot of people don't know how the vinyl, you can really, because they would record the live instruments and stuff. So the vinyl, you can really get the real feeling from the music and stuff, the real vibes from it and stuff. But when it's digital, it kind of takes out a lot of the, I forget what they said, but it's kind of like watered down.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? It takes out a lot of the, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the vibes, the megahertz, some of the frequency or whatever, but a lot of music is more pure on the vinyl and stuff. So yeah, that's why you might find like a lot of they're making a lot of new music too on vinyl.
Yeah,
just so people can get that feeling and stuff, you know, so you can really feel the emotion from the music and stuff. It's certain like low tones and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And certain it is that. It's megahertz, that's what it is. It's like the megahertz, I guess. It's just different in the music though, because in the radio stuff they have it digital and they have it to a certain frequency that we don't know that though. So like when you listen to it could be a Tupac song. So when you listening to it on the quote unquote radio or whatever, or CD or something like that, they'll have it to where you listening to the undertones of it. So you get more of the stuff that make you mad and sad from it instead of the 432 hertz that, you know what I'm saying, it could be played at, you know what I'm saying? And, and when you listen to that, the 432 hertz, you get more of the, you know what I'm saying, the higher scale of it, should I say, or the more of the positive vibes and the positive like lyrics and stuff like that. So you ready to go heal somebody instead of to go kill somebody, basically. And I learned you can even look that up.
Yeah, I mean they have like hour-long 432 on YouTube's. Yeah. You know, that you can just vibe out to, you know, and it's supposed to like change your emotion, you know, cleanse you. It's kind of like, you know, smudging your insides. You know? I was
gonna say no. I was gonna say it's like CBD. But no, I wouldn't say it like that.
Okay, it's CBD wash. For, like CBD wash from your ears that goes down through your body. You know, but like it's good stuff, and people are definitely like I think wakening up more to like these type of things that we didn't maybe realize before, like how important this stuff was. And we
are spiritual beings having a human experience and stuff like that. Like, man, I don't know. We definitely gonna have to do a part 2 about this, because
I want to pick your brain about it for sure.
We gotta get more. We gotta get more into the quantum realm and all that stuff, into quantum physics, quantum metaphysics, and speak more about the brain and everything. But as far as today, I really, really thank you for being a part of this, because this is part of my vision, it's part of my purpose in my life. You know. Thank you for letting me be a part of your brand and stuff like that. And thank you for believing in yourself, because if you didn't believe in yourself, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't be here. Like, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't even be existing right now if you didn't believe in yourself. So I wouldn't have popped up into your reality. I thank myself too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
always
you gotta
believing in
thank
myself.
yourself.
You know, I thank everybody who listens to me and all my listeners and believers and followers, whether you like it or not. You know, whether you like me or the post or not, or whatever I do. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Dopamine Podcast. This shirt that I'm wearing, Nostalgic Dreams, can be found. It's actually by Legendary Empowerment too. They can be found on the website. Can it be?
Yeah, it's on the website.
My crystal gem is by Million Dollar. Is it $1 Million Gems or $1 Million? I'm gonna post her link to her stuff. And this jewelry, this other red charm I'm wearing is by Vegas Drip. You can actually find him on Instagram at Vegas_drip. As far as that, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Dopamine Podcast. I'm your host, Box the Future. Peace out, man. See y'all next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, though. Let me shake your hand, make it look weird and professional. Thank you.